Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to get comfortable with not knowing, what to do. It's really amazing, that we believe that we know what is best for us, we know what is best for our kids, we know what is best for other people, and yet the world remains the same. Nobody knows. Nobody knows anything. Nobody knows what we are doing. People come up with ideas about the nature of reality. People come up with ideas about what is happening, about the sociological and economical realities. But to be honest, from my own exploration, I don't think, I don't believe anybody, really knows what is going on because there's nothing going on. We have created a lot of systems. The human mind has evolved, to the extent where we have created what we believe is knowledge, what we believe is a bank of experiences, what we have written down as history, what we even still keep writing down today, as history of what happened millions of years ago when nobody was there. So I just believe it's a game that we play. We are playing this game of life. We are using language. We are using our ability to vocalize our thoughts in a somewhat comprehensible manner um, between ourselves. Because we can't even talk to any other being. We can't talk to all the other beings that have been here before us. We cannot talk to plants. We either have to, like, we destroy them or we normally harm them. We cannot communicate with them because they're not on the same level of frequency with us. And yet, the human being, claims, we believe that we are superior, basically, to every other life form. It may or may not be true. I have no idea. What I know, from what has happened in just these recent times, in the past 5-6 months, we have seen a virus shut down every single thing that we have been doing. Everything from transportation to every single thing. Everybody has stayed at home. And nobody can go out. We're in lockdown. We are doing, this and that. So it's not that simple to define what knowledge is and what it means, to be in control of anything, because it seems like we're not in control of anything, and it just goes more, to confirm, the theory, the game theory, what we're doing here. Are we? We are here to cooperate and not to compete. We are here to collaborate with every other living being that was here before us. From scientific evidence, the human beings are the last to evolve. And even from the Christian bibliographic history, man and woman were the last things, to be created on the sixth day before God rested on the seventh day. That's according to the Christian mythology. I'm not so, versed with the other religions, but I'm sure, I will assume that most of them also assume that human beings were, the last people to come. Yeah, we are the most evolved. Interesting. So what are we here to do? Is there really any purpose to what we are doing? These are the questions that we need to ask ourselves. Rather than just trying to make people happy, rather than just trying to trivialize what has been going on and what is going on. Today, I just want to take some deep introspection, into the real nature of reality. And the real reality, is that we will not know anything. And it doesn't matter how hard we try, we're not going to know. And it's just good to understand that we have to make decisions to play one game or the other. Some of us are already playing the spiritual game, as I'll call it. It's a game, it's not reality. Some other people are playing the physical game, the material game of life. They are rushing to get money. They believe that happiness comes from what each individual, can amass before they die. They believe that happiness, can come from. They believe that knowledge, itself is rooted in what we can see, what we can feel, what we can hear, and all the other physical connotations of life. Yeah, so those people, which of course I'm also part of them because I'm in the academic, so I'm part of that reality too. And I understand the reality and it makes a lot of sense. But I know it's not a complete story of what we're doing. The other set of people, that believe in the metaphysical and they stay there. There's really no evidence for anything metaphysical. Yes, we feel it. We can feel it, but even the physical people will still come back, and tell you that those feelings have to do with hormones and have to do with sensory experiences. Their work is to try to counter any out of body or out of physical experience that the spiritual people are experiencing. And it's just a ping pong. It's a ping pong activity, between both ends of the spectrum. And my take on it, is that the real reality, lies at the middle of everything. It's just the middle way. And that middle way is an unknowable way because it's difficult for us as human beings, to hold two competing ideologies or ideas within our minds at the same time. It's difficult for us to believe, in two different ontologies of nature and of reality. So it's not simple, to believe that God created the world and at the same time to believe that, there was a Big Bang at the beginning. So that goes to the heart, of the question, of the question or the arguments as to whether scientists can actually be religious or believe in the metaphysical. Yeah, so it's all just a game. I'll be talking more about the game theory in my next video. The game theory, what games you're playing, what game I am playing, because I have to play a game. I'm here, I'm in the world. Anybody that's born into this world already, once you're born into the world, you're born into the game of life. And when you're inside the game of life, then you have to play the game. It doesn't matter whether you're conscious or unconscious of the game. They are all part of the game. Being unconscious of the game and being unaware of what is happening is still a kind of game that you're playing with yourself. Being conscious or believing that you're conscious of the game is another type of game too that we play with ourselves. So what is the game about? How can we change? Is it possible to change? And who is going to make that change? How many people are inside of you? How can you that is the, like, you are the one that needs the change. You're the problematic one, and yet it is you that is the problematic one, is the one that wants to make the change to become something else. How is that possible? That's the paradox we're talking about. Even the mere thoughts, or the mere thoughts of, that you're going to make a change already renders it, baseless, because it's the one that is destroyed that is trying to make a change. So the real problem you have, or we have, is not even understanding that it is impossible to do. It's just impossible. And the process of trying to make that change is the problem that we have. That is the real problem. So you're not going to make that. You cannot make any change. So trying to make a change, is the problem that we have, and it's not just possible. That's the real paradox of life. And I've been trying it for so many years, but it's not like there's no way out of it. There is a way out, and I'll be talking about the way out in my next video, and I hope you're following what I'm saying. And I'll see you in a few hours time, or tomorrow. Thank you.